Jeff from the Spiro Clinic for an exciting bell ringing today, long in the making.
Definitely. Definitely.
Jeff, you came here and your CRPS was where?
Mostly my right hand, a bit in my left as well.
And how long have you had it?
It was about a year or two. Kind of came on slowly, but boy did it come.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will post a before picture because I just said I think a picture speaks a million words.
Yeah.
In your case.
Yes,
for
it
sure.
really. Yeah, it's hard to convey that with words in the English language, but yeah.
I'm going to get your therapist up here, your main therapist, and then Jack, I'm going to give you the floor because I know you prepared some words.
Yes, you know me. Yeah. Hello, Tammy.
Oh, hello, Jack. Nice to see you up here.
You too, yeah. So I'm gonna do my best not to cry, but I really cannot make any promises. So, and yes, as Tammy knows, I like to be prepared, so I wrote it down instead of trying to wing it. Yeah. So for a little bit of background on how things were when I got here. So I was first told I had CRPS in January 2020. About 8 months before that, I had 2 small wrist fractures, and it seemed to get progressively worse, and then lots of pain in my left wrist as well. And I can't emphasize, by the time I got to the clinic, I could not do anything. I really mean that. My right hand was constantly clutched near my chest. I couldn't drive, be outside, write, bend my fingers, get it wet, touch it, or as Dr. B would talk about, even talk about touching it without setting things off. And I had to give up on pretty much all of my favorite activities, playing guitar, piano, doing data work on my laptop, dancing, and all the other stuff. And just like everyone else here, I tried everything and hadn't had any luck. So I was skeptical about the clinic, but I decided to come. There's a guy named Isaiah, and he had a similar situation and was 100% better, and I was like, okay, maybe this will work. And so I realized the clinic was different because when I got here, as Dr. K was mentioning, they asked me to take before pictures, which was the first time that someone had asked for that. And to me, that kind of indicated this is before, but this is not how it's going to stay. And things didn't turn around after day 1 per se. I had to take things really slow, like largely because of how serious my case was and my own hesitations. But I can say that my progress has been truly remarkable. My hand looks normal, and lately I've been able to drive, go walk outside, lift things, open doors, and even brush my teeth with my hand, all while being in way less pain than when I got here. And more importantly, I feel like the person that I used to be. Recovery is a process, and I'm not 100% there yet. There's still some things I haven't been able to do, and I am still in pain at times, but I know this will continue to fade as I keep working on it with ARP and my confidence grows. And I know that I'll be 100% functional and pain-free without much more time, which is something I absolutely cannot say when I got here. And so, yeah, like Dr. K was saying, especially to those who saw me when I was here, some of these faces remember me. It's quite the contrast. So, of course, some thank yous. So the first one, as I'm looking at all of you, all of the staff, and I'm going to miss a lot of people, but Dr. H, Cam, Dr. B, Bryce, Misa, Colleen, Dr. Lauren, and so many others. And then a few not at the clinic as well, like Dr. Sheen, Amanda Ashley, and Dr. Scott. I wanted to thank God and for everyone who prayed for me during this time. And then to my friends and family, phrases like, I wouldn't be here without you sound cliche, but I do mean that. I kept things quiet because I don't like broadcasting bad news, and that's all there was before I got here. But I really appreciate all of the words of encouragement. Some of my friends even flew or drove 17 hours just to come spend time with me. Many people don't really know where I am. A lot of people are like, oh, best of luck in Arizona, or how's Kansas? I'm like, thanks, yeah, it's the thought that counts. And yeah, thank you to my cousins, my aunts, uncles, and grandparents. My dad's dad passed away a few months ago, but he was really proud of my progress. And most importantly, thank you to my mom, dad, and my siblings, Abby and Luke. You dropped everything to come help me when I really needed it earlier in the clinic. You drove me to treatments even when I would yell going over potholes because of how badly they would hurt my hands. And you did everything in your power to help me get to where I am. I hope you guys don't end up in a position like I was in, but if you ever do, I will be there. You've shown me what unconditional love really looks like. And then 2 more, which are people who happen to be standing up here. So to Dr. K, as someone who works in the technology industry, I hear the term visionary thrown around a lot, but more so than most people who get that label, you really deserve it. When you started this clinic, you didn't see CRPS treatment for what it was, you saw it for what it should be. And even after all of your success, you're still constantly looking for ways to improve treatment and to help more people. You put together and run a program that has pulled so many people out from the darkest imaginable existences and given them the opportunity to return to a normal life, or in some cases, to start living one for the first time. I'm confident that 50 years from now, when CRPS is better understood and more easily treated, people will look back on all the work you've done as a pivotal turning point. So thank you so much for that. I have tissues ready. Okay, so the last person I wanted to thank was my NMR therapist, Tammy. Didn't take much. Tammy, I've met some incredible people in my life, but few hold a candle to you. You're compassionate, perceptive, brilliant, dedicated, and a true light in this world. You believed in me when few others did, and certainly during times when I didn't believe in myself. You answered every question I had, which was a lot. And if you were ever stuck on something, you'd read about it at night, and we'd try again the next day. At almost every step of the way, you pushed me to do things I thought weren't possible, and as Dr. Sheen says, expanding that box is the only way to get past this. Even the first week, when I could barely have the ARP on 0.5 on background, I'm not exaggerating, you believed I would get better. I thought you were really nice, if not a little delusional. But to echo a phrase I've told you many times since I've been here, you were right. You always say that patients get themselves better and that you only provide the tools, and that might be true, but you have a true gift for helping others. It's not a coincidence that the notes on your wall from former patients are some of the most heartfelt thank you notes I've ever read. You've seen every side of me, in pain, fearful, excited, won't stop talking, won't say a word, and I'm so grateful that the side that you get to see me leave with is one that my wrist issues had robbed me of, which is joyful, singing, engaged, and I mean engaged in life, not to be married, but sorry Mom, I'll work on that. And hopeful for what the future holds. That's the side my family and friends have missed seeing so deeply, and we'll all be grateful for that forever. So the last thing I would say is kind of just to everybody. So when you're in the deepest, darkest trenches that CRPS can bring, it's really hard to feel hopeful. I really get that. I was so consumed by the challenges of getting through the day that I could hardly think about the future at all, let alone envision a positive one. But to those watching or listening, believe me when I say that if you put the work in and stick with it, things will get better. Many of us travel far and wide looking for doctors who will fix us, but this clinic provides the tools so that we can fix ourselves. If anyone is struggling, I'm happy to talk, because former patients, some of whom are here, have been really helpful for myself. When I first got to the clinic and saw bell ringing ceremonies, I could never imagine myself standing here. But as I leave, I wanted to share something. So 2 weeks ago, I hadn't written anything with my hand in probably almost 2 years. And I started by writing the word hi. It was messy and whatnot. And each day, I've made sure that I wrote more than the day before. And now the sheet's completely full, and it kind of captures how the small wins here accumulate until you look back and realize how far you've come. And so,
Paper?
yeah, you can.
Holy cow, Jake.
Yeah. So.
That's pretty impressive.
Thanks.
Look at that handwriting.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it came back pretty quick.
job.
So anyways, there's not
the
words that I
box.
can, yeah, thanks. Yeah. I know. Anyway, so I just want to say thank you to everyone. I'm so incredibly grateful.
Wow. That was amazing, Jake.
Yeah.
So one thing for Jake, when your friends and family came here, the way they looked at you, because when people come here, we don't know the person that you really are, right? We see what you've been struggling with and kind of what you've been stuck, the box you've been stuck in. When your family came and they would just stand by you and not know what to do because they didn't know the Jake that you were at the time.
Right.
I can't wait to see you all together. I want to see videos of interactions and how the real dynamics go with your family.
Yeah.
But you really have an amazing support system, and a big shout out to Jake's family and friends for coming here. That was amazing.
It was. Yeah. Yeah.
You did it.
I did, yeah. So thank you to everyone.
You ready? Piece of shake.
Can
I can't believe it.